Hi students, welcome to the machine learning course. In this lecture, I would like to discuss about multi-layer neural networks and its learning algorithm, that is backpropagation algorithm. In this lecture, I would like to start with limitations of the single layer perceptron or the perceptron. Here, the single layer neural network cannot solve the non-linear classification problems. So, here I am considering the XOR gate. This is the example for the non-linear classification problem. Let's see why it is a non-linear classification problem. Here the XOR gate, which contains the different outputs, two different outputs, 0 output and 1 output. Here the 0 output, which is get by the inputs 0 and 0 and 1 1. For 0 0 1 1 it gets the output is 0, and for 0 1 1 0 inputs it gets the output 1. So when we plot the graph for these values, we get like this. Here the 0 output value is represented with the red color and 1 output is represented with the blue color. When we draw the straight line like this, here the two output classes are not classified into two different classes. Here the classes are mixed. So by using this single straight line, we cannot classify these two different outputs. So here by using this single line, or this single line is equal to the one perceptron or the one neuron. So by using this single perceptron or single perceptron or the single neuron, we cannot solve this non-classifier problems. So for this classification, we need the one more straight line, then we can separate into two different classes. So here two straight line means here we have the two neurons or the two perceptrons. So for solving these non-linear classification problems, we need the more than one perceptron. So when we have the network contains the more than one perceptron, then it is called multi-layer perceptron or the multi-layer neural network. This is the one disadvantage of the single layer neural network. For avoiding this problem, we are using the multi-layer perceptron. The next disadvantage is here we have some complex problems. The complex problems contains the lot of input parameters. When we have the complex problems, we cannot solve these complex problems by using the single layer perceptrons. For this, we have to use the multi-layer perceptrons. For example, if I am considering the e-commerce company, so the e-commerce company which uses the many ways for purchasing the product to you, means the ways are which uses the emails or the referral programs or the paid ads, direct or the social media, and some organizing the searches. By these using these input parameters, the e-commerce company reached to purchase the product to you, and for this analyzing the more complex task, here the e-commerce companies are using the multi-layer neural networks. That's why we have to use the multi-layer neural networks for solving of these such type of complex problems. Now let's see what is the multi-layer perceptron or the multi-layer neural network. Here the multi-layer neural network which follows the feed-forward neural network architecture. Here the feed-forward neural network architecture contains the multiple nodes are arranged in the multiple layers. And here the feed-forward neural networks, in this the nodes are connected to the another layer by using the edges or the connections, and each connection is associated with some assigned weights. Here in multi-layer neural networks or the multi-layer perceptor or the multi-layer feed-forward neural networks, the information flow only in one direction. Means the information flow from the input layer to the hidden layers, then flow to the output layers. Means we have only one direction, that is the unidirection, and here we don't have any loops and any cycles. Here we are considering this example. This is the multi-layer perceptron neural network. This neural network contains the one hidden layer. So in one input layer and output layer. In input layer, the layer which contains the 3 input nodes. Among the 3 input nodes, which is contains the one bias node, the default value of this bias node is 1. By using this bias, we can adjust the boundary of the output function. That's why we are taking the bias value. And these 2 inputs are the external inputs. And in this new input layer, we cannot perform any computations. That's why the output of this layer is the inputs itself. So means here x1 and x2 itself are the outputs. These outputs are sent to the next layer, that is called the hidden layer, as the inputs. Okay. These inputs are sent by performing the sum. It means net sum. Here the net sum which contains the product of the output of the input layer and weights, which are sent to the each hidden layers with connected links. Here the each hidden layer, in this hidden layer we have the 3 nodes. One is the bias node with the output value 1, and the 2 are the hidden nodes. Here the each hidden node output is based depending on the output value of this input layer nodes. Here in each hidden layer we have the 2 parameters. One is the net sum, another one is the final output of the each hidden layer. Here the net sum, which is calculated on the product of the inputs of the input layers and weights. Then for this we are using this formula. Means here we have the input value is the bias value is 1 and its weight is assigned weight is W0, and plus here the x1 is the input 2 and its assigned weight is W1, plus and the next is the x2 into W2. In this way we can compute the net sum. After performing the net sum, we have to apply the activation function for converting that net sum into actual output. Here generally we have the many number of activation functions like sigmoid, ReLU, softmax. So many functions we have. Based on our output requirement, we have to apply our particular activation function. Here f represents the activation function. Here by using this activation function which decides the boundary of the output value. Okay. After performing the computations in the hidden layer in each hidden node, these outputs are sent to the next layer as the inputs, and means these output values are sent to these output layer nodes as the inputs. And here also we perform the same computations what we have done in the hidden layer. Means here also we have to find the summation value and the summation value, and then we have to apply the activation function in each node of the output layer, and finally each node produce the output values are y1 and y2. In this way the multi-layer neural network or the multi-layer perceptron works. Here the multi-layer neural network or the multi-layer perceptron learn or train by using the one algorithm, that is called the back propagation algorithm. Here see what is the back propagation algorithm. In artificial neural networks, we are assigning the weights and bias in randomly. So the produced output may get the error. Okay. To reduce this error, we have to compare our desired or the target output and network produced output. While we get any error, then we have to rectify it. For that, we have to go back and adjust the weights and bias until we get the minimum error or until we get our desired output. For this, the network is trained by back propagate and updates the weights and bias. That's why it is called the back propagation algorithm. Here the logic behind this back propagation algorithm or the goal of the back propagation algorithm is it reduces the error values in the randomly selected weights and bias. That's why it produces the correct outputs. And here this back propagation algorithm follows the supervised learning scheme, which means here we have the both labeled inputs and outputs. Means here the back propagation algorithm learns by mistakes and the supervisor correct the mistakes what it makes the mistakes. Now let's see the working process of the back propagation algorithm. Here the back propagation algorithm mainly works with 6 steps. The very first step is initialization, and next step is the forward propagation, and next is the calculating the total error, and next backward propagation, and next calculating the updated weight values, and the final step is iterate until convergence. Means iterate until we get our matched desired output value. In these 6 steps the back propagation algorithm works. Now let's see one by one. The first step is initialization. Here we are considering this network. This is the multi-layer perceptual neural network which contains the one input layer and one hidden layer and one output layer, and it's randomly selected weights W1 up to W8 weights, and some are the bias values B1 and B2. Okay, here in this first step, first of all we have to initialize our initial input values and target values, and then we have to randomly select the weights and bias values. After that we have to go for the next step, that is called the forward propagation step. In this forward propagation step we have to calculate the total net input, and then we have to apply the activation function for the output of the each node. Okay, the first thing we have to do here, these input values we have to send to the inputs for the hidden layers. For that first we have to compute the total net input. For that we have to use this formula. For example, if we want to compute the net input for the H1, then we are using the formula W1 into I1. Means this is the input value, its associated weight is W1, and next we have W2 and associated input is I2, and plus bias value B1 and its associated weight is 1. B1 into 1. This is the formula we have to use it for finding the net sum for each hidden node. Suppose if we are considering the hidden node H2, then we have to compute the net sum is I1 into W3 plus I2 into W4 plus B1 into 1. Like that we can calculate the net sum for each hidden layer. After finding the net input, we have to apply the activation function for converting that net sum into actual value. Here we have the many activation function. Here I am taking the sigmoid activation function as I need the output ranges from 0 to 1. Here the activation function of this is the sigmoid activation function. The formula for sigmoid activation function is 1 by 1 plus exponential power minus net sum. Here we have computed the net input for the H1. So I have to apply the activation function on this net H1. So I substitute this net H1 in this formula. After applying the activation function, it produces the complete output for this node. Okay, in this way we can compute for H1 and H2 in this way we can also find the H2. After finding the outputs for the each hidden nodes, we have to send those outputs to the next layer as the inputs. Here this layer also we have to perform the same computation. Here we have the next we have the output layer. For output layer also we have to perform the net input and then apply the activation function. So here we have to compute the net sum by using the formula. Here the first I am computing for the net output, net input for the O1. So O1 is equal to W5 into output of the H1. Here the output of H1 is the input for this O1 plus W6 into output of H2 plus BIOS 2 into 1. Like this we can calculate the net input for the each output nodes in the output layer, and then we have to apply the activation function for complete conversion of this net input into the output. So we have to apply the activation function, that is the sigmoid activation function, and then we have to substitute this net sum value here. Okay, in this way we can compute the net input value and the final output value by applying these formulas. After computing these values, these final output values, we have to go for the calculating the error. Means here already we discussed, as it is a multi-layer neural network or feed forward neural network. Here we have only one direction, means there is no acknowledgement from the one node to another node. So here maybe we get the some errors due to some random initialization of the weights. So we have to check how much error we get in the in this network. Okay, if we have the any error, then we have to rectify by using this back propagation step by adjusting the randomly selected weights and BIOS values. Okay, here for this we have to calculate the errors. For first of all we have to calculate the each individual error for the individual output unit. After that we have to combine the both the here we have the two inputs, so we have to combine the both the input error values. That will become the total error for this network. Okay, for that we have to use the formula. Here is this is the total error is equal to 1/2 sum of the target value of the each output node and minus network produced output value. Okay, for example, first I want to compute the error value for the O1. I am using the formula. This is the target value of the O1 minus output produced by the network, and for O2 this one means target output of the O2 minus network produced output O2. After that we have to combine all these two error values, then we get the total error for our network. After computing our total error, next we have to go for the back propagation. Here in this back propagation we reduced that error or minimizing our error. We have to use the some gradient descent or the partial derivations. For that we are using the chain rule. Okay, here I am considering the node is the weight is the W5. Here I am considering the node weight is the W5. Okay, for the effect of the error with that W5 we have to calculate by using this formula. Means here we have to do some partial derivation on this. Means here the output 1 is affected by this weight. This weight is affected by this H1 output. This H1 output is affected by the input I1. So we have to do the partial derivation with respect to their input values. So for this we have to do the three derivations. One is the total error with respect to the total output 1, and then total output 1 with respect to the total net output 1, and then we have to do the total net output one with respect to the total weight. Like that we can adjust the weights for all the perform for the all the weights, and then we have to calculate the updated weight values for the each. Here before we are considering the W5, so for the adjustment of the or the updating of the W5 we are using this formula. The W5 plus is equal to, here this is the old weight value, old value of the W5 minus eta. Eta is the learning rate. Based on this we can, if we select this range, this value is mostly we are selecting between 0 to 1. Most probably this value are selected 0.5. Based on that value we can get our computation time less. So eta into this is the total error rate with respect to the W5 weight. In this way we can also update all the weights by using this formula. For if we want to update the W6 value, then we can write like this: W6 plus is equal to W6 minus eta into total error rate with respect to the W6 weight. In this way we can update the each weight values until we get the reduced our reduced error or the convergence. For that we have to go for the last step. This step is repeated a number of times until we get the convergence of our output or our desired output. This is how the back propagation algorithm works. By using this back propagation algorithm, the multi-layer neural networks or the multi-layer perceptron is learns or trains.